We caught Sky News lying about Israelis in their latest documentary about settlers. You really need to see this. If you thought the mainstream media was anti-Israel, you've seen nothing. Sky News have taken it to a whole new level with this documentary.
I wanted to meet Mohammed Robin, a Palestinian man who'd had his land taken off him.
So Mohammed went to work one morning, came back and told he couldn't go back to his house. Settlers have taken everything.
Settlers had taken everything. He went to work and these settlers just took his house. No context is provided, no evidence is presented, nothing. We're just to take his word for it. So is Mohammed Robin a person we should trust? This is a post from Mohammed celebrating the release of his brother who'd served an 18-year sentence. So why was he jailed? Well, he was jailed for terrorism and got 13 years. But wasn't he in jail for 18 years? You're right. He was served another 5-year sentence because while he was in jail, he tried to organize the kidnapping of an Israeli soldier with Hamas so that they could force Israel to release another 400 and something terrorists from jail. And this is the video of the release. His brother is the one on the shoulders of the Al-Aqsa Martyr Brigade's gunmen. You could not make this up. So how does Muhammad describe his brother? Let's see. Praise be to God before and after. Praise be to God that he has bestowed his generosity upon us, and we rejoiced at the release of my dear brother, Mahmoud Robin, after he spent 18 years as a prisoner in the jails. Brigadier Abu al-Tayyib. Sky News have presented this man who's directly linked to the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigades, who's posting this on his public Facebook, and they're presenting his story, his testament, as fact, without any context, without any caveat. And this is only the beginning. If you thought this was bad, wait till you see what else happens in the documentary.
Daniel leads me down a path overlooking a valley in the West Bank. He and the Israeli government called it by its biblical name, Judea and Samaria.
Its biblical name? No, not its biblical name. Its Jewish name. This is the name that Jews have referred to the region in Hebrew for thousands of years. But I have a sneaky suspicion that Sky are going to use a different name.
The West Bank and its people would make up the lion's share of a Palestinian state. Geographically, it's on the west bank of the River Jordan, which is where it gets its name from.
But when did it get that name? 1950. A couple of years after Jordan conquered the territory and needed to name it something. So what did Jordan name this newly conquered territory? Well, they were on the east bank of the Jordan, so they named it the West Bank. The name is 75 years old, and Sky has the chutzpah to ridicule Jews for referring to it by the name that we've referred to the region for thousands of years. Okay, now we're really going to get into it, because there's one overriding message that this documentary wants to imprint in your mind, and that is that Israel is caging in Palestinians.
The building of iron gates that close off vehicle entry and exit to Palestinian communities has dramatically increased since the October the 7th Hamas attacks on Israel that led to the Gaza war.
This is insane. Sky News is acting surprised that Israel would increase security after October the 7th. Of course they've increased security. It's probably worthwhile me providing a little context. So the barriers in question appear at points where people can move from Area A or B into Area C. Area C is the area of the West Bank which Palestinians and Israelis agreed at Oslo would be controlled militarily and in terms of the civil administration by Israel. So you have Israelis maintaining and using roads there. Palestinians who are in Area C or with permits can also drive on those roads. So to control the movement of Israelis into Area A or B and Palestinians into Area C, there may in some places be restrictions.
Beneath the village of Al-Mugaya, we watched as IDF soldiers oversaw a digger working on a roadway and a new barrier gate being moved into position from the back of a lorry.
My name's Stuart Ramsey. I'm a reporter for Sky News in England.
Okay, what's the problem here?
No problem, we were just going to go up to the village, but I can see obviously you're putting in a barrier.
It's military territory, so please turn around and go away.
Okay. Could you just explain though, are you putting in a new gate?
This is classified. Please turn around and go away.
These villages, Palestinian villages you can see behind me, get cut off by gates and that'll be closed and access in and out is totally controlled.
This is just such blatant propaganda. He's claiming that Al-Mughaya has been cut off with this barrier. Well, I live an hour and a half away from here, so I thought, why not jump in a car and have a look with my own eyes to see if the village truly has been cut off? Let's go and see what I found out.
I'm here at the village, and as you can see, behind me is the point that we're talking about. This is the barrier. You can see over there in the distance. I'll zoom in. What Sky News conveniently left out of their footage was that this is actually Area C. Behind me, the village, is Area B, and we've now crossed into, where that tarmac ends behind me, we've crossed into Area C, which is fully under Israeli military and civilian control. This is an Israeli road up ahead of me, and so the barrier is there simply because this is where Area B meets Area C.
So the village isn't blocked off. This isn't a main road in or out of the village. This is a dirt road leading up to the village, which is in Area B. The area I was stood in is Area C. Sky News wants you to believe that this dirt road cuts off this village from the rest of Palestinian territories, the rest of Israel. It's not true. This is a dirt road. It's a minor road. This is the main road. This is the road in and out of the village. This is the road that they use. Sky News is just lying to you. But this wasn't the only village they lied about. The next claim is even more outrageous.
I'd heard about Sinjar, a Palestinian town, I was told, that was cut off from the outside world. It isn't yet completely surrounded, but a 5-metre high metal fence around its eastern edge indicates the direction it's going.
The direction it's going. Well, I get the direction this documentary's going, but as I'm in my car and Sinjar's only 15 minutes away, I know which direction I'm going to go as well. So I jumped in my car to film the fence itself. So this is the actual fence. Here is a time lapse of the actual length of fence that we're talking. We're going to get to why it's there in a minute, but I want you to be able to see the reality of how large this fence is.
It's the first town on the West Bank to be slowly encircled, and many here believe it won't be the last. Israel says it's to protect the main road from attack by stone-throwing villages. Security concerns are used as a catch-all reasoning for virtually everything here.
Slowly encircled. No, the fence runs around a small part of the perimeter adjacent to the road. Why? Well, because of what the documentary mentioned. Because of security reasons. These are all headlines of incidents where stones and other objects have been thrown at traffic. This was a very dangerous place for Israelis to drive, which is why a fence was constructed. It has nothing to do with encircling the village and this being part of a long-term plan to encircle all the villages the Palestinians have within this area. It's nonsense. It's propaganda. It's a blood libel, a modern-day blood libel. Israel is not trying to cage in Palestinian villages. The opposite is true. Palestinians from these villages have been attacking Israeli traffic, which is why a fence was constructed in the first place.
We enter the town on a small road that is the only exit and entry now available to the 8,000 residents.
Not true. Here are other roads that are open and available to the residents of Sinjar. Sky News is lying to you. Yet again, this is the only exit from the village which is in Area B to the road which is in Area C, as we've already discussed.
We're in Hebron, a major Palestinian city in the West Bank, where Israeli soldiers have arrived to shut down part of the town.
Okay, they're closing the town down because they want to go up this street along here. And the idea is to take control of this street for security reasons so that they can bring the settlers through.
Behind a large green screen, the visitors arrive in small groups to look at a tomb up the street.
A tomb up the street. They make it sound like this is just the grave of some random Jew. that settlers are visiting. No, this is the gravesite, the burial site of Othniel ben Kenaz. He was a major biblical figure. He was the second leader of Israel after Joshua led the children of Israel into the land. He was the first judge. And they're framing this as settlers. They're not settlers. They're Jewish pilgrims that are visiting a holy site on Tisha B'Av, a Jewish festival.
The Palestinian city of Hebron is in what is known as Area A of the West Bank. It means it's technically under the full control of the Palestinian Authority.
Sky News are so ignorant to the history and legality of the land. This isn't Area A. Hebron has its own protocol, which was established, I think, in 1997, and this is H1 and H2. Technically, they're in H1, and part of this protocol, which was signed by the Palestinian Authority and by Israel, explicitly states that the tomb should be open to pilgrims and that visits should be coordinated between the PA and the IDF, which is exactly what is happening.
But everyone here says the presence of Israeli soldiers and settlers is designed to make a point, to emphasise who's really in charge.
No, it's not to show who's really in charge. It's security measures. It's the same reason that the barriers are there. It's the same reason that the green screen is there. It's the same reason that these soldiers that you're looking at on screen have weapons. These are security precautions because in Hebron, at Sinjil, Israelis have been killed by Palestinian terrorists, which is tragically why we need the security to visit our holy sites. We should be able to just go and visit the graves of these important Jewish figures without fear of our safety, but unfortunately, that's not the reality. I guess at the end of the day, videos like this one just erode trust in the mainstream media. This was from Sky News. They're supposed to be neutral, but instead, they demonized Israel because they knew that it would create views. And any truths that they were telling, and there were some uncomfortable truths from the Israeli perspective, any of those truths were just consumed in this furnace of deceit, and we're just left feeling that we can't trust a word that they say.